Hello Flickering Myth family and welcome to our channel. My name is EJ and we have a new movie review. In this video, we are diving into the latest MCU offering. There's a new blockbuster coming out and we have the good and the bad of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Not since Spider-Man No Way Home has there been a Marvel movie with this much anticipation, this much going around it. There's been a couple entries, we have the Shang-Chi, the Eternals, Black Widow, Doctor Strange. There's been a ton of movies from Marvel recently and, all those Disney Plus shows as well. But nothing has really captured the zeitgeist. Nothing has really gotten people hyped as much as Black Panther, the original, and this sequel has. There is a big there's a lot of eyes on this film. What could it do? How will it follow up the Chadwick Boseman death? How will it pass up, how will it handle the passing of T'Challa? What will they do to progress the MCU and the characters of Wakanda forward? This movie has a lot to handle in it, and at times it handles it very well, and then sometimes I think it crumbles under its own pressure. This is a pretty good movie. I actually kind of liked elements of this a bit more than the first one. But some of the issues I had with that first Black Panther movie, they're back in this movie. So it seems like some things got better, some things got worse. It's a pretty mixed bag for me. I definitely think I'm going to be more of like a 80-20, maybe a 75-25 kind of with my feelings. My negatives are negatives and, they're there and they're definitely things that kind of took me out of the experience. But some of them are common Marvel complaints that we have a lot now. Some of them are things Black Panther had the struggles with, and some of them are just personal choice things. So there is a lot in this. But also, like I said, on the positives, there's a lot of positives. There's a lot of things I actually enjoyed, most of them being Namor. Oh my goodness, that boy ate this movie up. Yeah, there is a lot in here, having to handle all of the stuff that it's dealing with. It does it for the most part. Ryan Coogler is definitely a strong enough director he was up for this task. I just think the script was a bit weaker. There's a lot of people on this script as well, and it's kind of obvious that there's a lot of people here. There's a lot of editors as well, and I'm like, I wish we could have scaled this back. I don't need an auteur film. I just don't need one person making, the script, the score, the directing, and all the editing. I don't need a film like that, but it just felt like there was too many hands in this pot, and I just wanted that Coogler vision. I really wanted to see what he could have offered without trying to shove in some Marvel stuff, without trying to hype up the future a lot. I wanted to live in this story a little bit more, and again, for what it was a good movie. It just could have been a great one. For this video, we will be starting off with the good. There's a lot of positives about this movie. One of them for me right off the bat was I enjoyed the characters way more in this film than the first one. I mean, there's everyone from Okoye, Nakia, Queen Ramonda, the M'Baku. Those are characters that were great in the first film, but they're even better here. They feel like they've lived in their characters a bit more. They're a bit more fleshed out. Even Shuri, who Letitia Wright isn't one of my favorite actresses, nothing to do with her controversy. She just doesn't usually emotionally grip me in her roles. She was much better here. I actually understood Shuri's character a lot more here. They put her through a lot in this movie, and I definitely felt with that. I was actually really impressed with Letitia Wright as the lead of the film. I saw that and was just like, not Angela Bassett, not like Danai Gurira, like, okay, not Lupita Nyong'o. We're going to make Letitia Wright the lead. And that actually turned out to be a pretty good decision. It was exactly what it needed to do. I liked these characters a lot more. To be honest, here's my big MCU kind of shocking confession. I really didn't like the T'Challa character. I like Chadwick Boseman. He was my big pick for the Oscars for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I still can't believe he lost that. So I definitely appreciate the actor, but the T'Challa character never spoke to me. He actually kind of got on my nerves a lot during Black Panther. I was just like, oh, and then, he showed up in, Endgame, and I'm like, hell yes, he was good in Infinity War. So I like the character, just not as much as in his own film. So here I was just like, okay, so I don't have the T'Challa character, and I actually ended up liking the whole universe, liking the characters, liking the world. And then we have, Tenoch, what was it? Tenoch Huerta as Namor. Oh my goodness. For his introducing him as his kind of credited role, he ate this movie up. He knew exactly what he needed to do. He was warm at times, and there's moments where him and Shuri are connecting and bonding, and I like that, but then he's terrifying. There's moments where he straight up threatens characters you like, and you're like, oh shit. And there's moments where he does things that are pretty villainous and you can't go back from them. And I cannot believe that that's something he did and how the characters handle that. I was very impressed with his character altogether. There's also another character, a new MCU addition who will be getting her own Disney Plus series, and that's Riri Williams, played by Dominique Thorne. I like her a lot. This is actually the way I want you to do it. Introduce a character in a small little bit part in a bigger Marvel movie and then do their Disney Plus series. I would be more invested. I liked her enough here that I would start her show. With things like Miss Marvel and She-Hulk, I have no reason to watch it really. These characters aren't really my favorites. I mean, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, all those. They're just like, I need a reason to watch. This gave me a reason to watch. I want to see where Riri's character will go in the future with her Stark tech, with her MIT Stark kind of program that she's in. I want to see what she can do. I really like what the characters started in this film. I would like to see them again, which is something I did not feel after Black Panther. I saw them, I was just like, cool, that was fun, good, I really don't really need this world again. But now they prove that there is more to offer in the world of Wakanda. Now, another one of my positives is the production value, mostly in the score, costume, and hair and makeup. Wow, this movie knows what to do. The sets look good when they're not green screen. We'll talk about that in a moment. Yeah, I love the sets. I love the universe. I love the environment. Even the VFX ones, like when we go to Namor's world and we're starting to see the aquatic vibes of that. I loved it. I thought it was very interesting. I was worried it would feel way too Aquaman, and I was worried that we're going to see it again in Avatar, coming up with the Way of Water. I just felt this was original. I felt like it was really well crafted. And then Wakanda, we got a little bit more of the city streets. I got to feel Wakanda a bit more in this. I really appreciate that. And the score. Ludwig did good the first time. He won the Oscar, I get it. But I wasn't in love with the whole score. This score, I was thrilled, I was scared, I was tense. There's like just dope ass beats sometimes. There's just a lot in that score that just, I cannot wait to listen to it again. The Rihanna song, the Lift Me Up, it's definitely going to be an Oscar contender now that she said it's, dedication to Chadwick. Definitely a front runner there. Not my favorite Rihanna song, but it was good. It played over the credits very well. This movie is a very auditorial, very nice. The sound design, there was like L cuts from one scene to another, which is when they start playing like the music or the sounds for another scene before they actually start showing the picture of it. Even those kind of like took me by surprise. There's just a lot of good little filmmaking things here and there. Now we'll talk about some of the negatives, because some of the other side of the filmmaking is not my favorite. Now, some of my negatives. There's two negatives I had that carry over from the first film. One of them is the VFX can still be a bit wonky. There's times people are there and they just look like rubbery fake things. There's times where they're very obviously on that weird domed CG shit that they film like Thor and the Mandalorian on. There's times where it felt like they were in that kind of thing. Just the backgrounds, it just felt like they were standing in a green screen environment. When they were on sets, those sets were magnificent, and I really appreciated that. So it got really jarring when we were in very fake digital worlds, and it just took me out of the film. The VFX for the action scenes as well, it just, I don't know, I wasn't connected to the VFX. It really took me out of the project, where things like Eternals or Shang-Chi, I never had VFX issues. Even Shang-Chi is a giant-ass, dragon at one point, and I wasn't as taken out by it. Something about the Black Panther CG, I just don't know if it's because it's very much in well-lit environments and we are having to see it, and there's no way to hide shit behind shadows, but I definitely feel it. It's a bit distracting. Speaking of distracting, oh my goodness, the fighting, the action scenes. Ryan Coogler can direct good action when it's boxing in Creed, but I do not like his action in these Black Panther movies. It's very repetitive. If I see Okoye stab and her same moves again and again, it got tiresome. And then by the final act battle, which was insanely rushed, I just didn't care. It just didn't grip me. The big battle between the Black Panther and Namor, it was okay. It just wasn't the oomph I wanted. Something about these fight scenes just don't compel me, so I get a bit bored, and I just get kind of like, alright, so when is this fight scene over so I can get to the good acting? Like, Miss Angela Bassett is acting her ass off, so I really don't want to see a stale, generic action scene. Those were the things I don't like, and for most of the time, Marvel movies are really, like, crutched on their, like, action scenes. In this movie, I like the acting and the drama way more than the action. Feels like a strange Marvel movie. Speaking of Marvel stuff, there are some pretty obvious ties. Like, I would say it involves the Everett Ross character, Martin Freeman. There's some ties that they're trying to do to other MCU stuff. I tuned out. Did not care. I just don't care. I hate when they were trying to shove other stuff into this movie. Like, this movie is too crowded enough with Namor's introduction, dealing with the death of Black Panther, dealing with how to get a new Black Panther, who's going to rule Wakanda. All of that's there, and I just don't need, like, oh yeah, by the way, the government's shitty in America. And I'm like, wow, I'm shocked by that. Like, you know what I mean? It just gets frustrating. There's a lot in this movie that could be good, but then they like would veer off to something for about 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm like, why are we doing this? Who is this for? Why do we care? Because I sure didn't. Alright, everyone, that is it for my good and bad on Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Overall, the movie is a good experience. There's people who are going to absolutely go wild for it and love it. There's some people who just don't like it. I'm somewhere in the middle, more on the positive, but I just wanted a bit more. It was a good film. There was a great film in there, though. Trim up some of it. Take some of the MCU stuff out, not the Riri Williams. Keep that in there. That was good. But keep some of the, take some of the other stuff out. Add in more of Namor backstory, and it could have been absolutely perfect. But I like it. It's fine. What did you think of Black Panther Wakanda Forever? What did you think of this review? Share your feelings down in the comments below. Subscribe to Flickering Myth because we make videos like this every single week. And give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy. Alright, everyone. Let's talk about Black Panther 2 and all the MCU goodness down below.